The world of celebrity confessions just exploded, and you won't believe what surfaced this week. Joe Rogan, the king of long-form interviews and shocking revelations, has reportedly uncovered details that could change everything you thought you knew about Erika Kirk and Charlie's family. Rumors have been swirling for months, half-whispered stories of secret admissions, family feuds, and heartbreak. But no one was ready for the storm that followed Rogan's latest episode. Fans are shocked, social media is ablaze, and the family itself is left divided, teetering on the edge of public scrutiny and private betrayal. It all began quietly, like a simmering pot ready to boil over. Erika Kirk, known for her poised public image, allegedly sat down with Charlie's parents in what was supposed to be a heartfelt conversation. But according to insiders who claim to have spoken with sources close to the family, things took a dramatic turn. Emotions ran high, voices were raised, and accusations, some outright explosive, filled the room. What started as a discussion about past misunderstandings quickly spiraled into a tangled web of confessions that nobody saw coming. Then Joe Rogan stepped in. Known for pushing people to reveal truths they'd rather keep hidden, Rogan's platform became the ultimate stage for what some are calling the most shocking disclosure of the year. Viewers tuning in reported feeling a mix of disbelief and anticipation, as if each revelation was peeling back another layer of a scandal that could have been scripted straight from a reality TV episode. There were tears, there were gasps, and there were moments when it seemed the entire Kirk family might collapse under the weight of the truths being unveiled. But here's the twist: while the confessions seemed undeniable on Rogan's episode, whispers of deception have already begun circulating. Some say Erika may have manipulated the conversation, carefully curating what she revealed to appear more sympathetic, or to shift blame in unexpected directions. The question on everyone's mind: was it all a lie? Was this a carefully orchestrated performance? Or did the family finally face truths that had been buried for years? As we dive into this tangled narrative, you'll hear the raw, unfiltered reactions from Charlie's parents, the shock from family friends who were caught completely off guard, and the explosive dialogues that unfolded behind closed doors. Allegiances were tested, family bonds strained, and fans are now left wondering if the trust that once held the family together can survive this public revelation. Stay tuned, because what you're about to hear may change everything you thought you knew about Erika Kirk, Charlie, and the confessions that shook a family to its core. Emotions are raw, drama is at an all-time high, and the fallout is only beginning. You won't want to blink, because every word could be the one that changes the story forever. The night it all began was quiet, almost deceptively calm. The Kirk residence, usually filled with laughter and routine, had taken on an atmosphere heavy with tension. Charlie's parents were seated in the living room, the air thick with anticipation. They didn't know that Erika Kirk, the woman who had long been the center of whispers and speculation, had finally agreed to speak. The conversation was meant to be private, intimate, a chance for Erika to clear the air. But what unfolded would shock everyone, leaving the family fractured in ways no one could have imagined. Erika arrived punctually, her expression unreadable. The soft click of the front door echoed through the hall, and Charlie's mother glanced nervously at her husband. "She's here," she murmured, voice tight with worry. Charlie's father nodded, trying to mask his own apprehension. Emotions had been simmering for months, subtle tensions, secret accusations, and unspoken truths that had quietly built a wall between them all. Tonight, that wall was about to crumble. From the moment Erika sat down, there was a palpable shift. She didn't start with pleasantries. Instead, her eyes locked onto Charlie's mother, and she spoke directly, her voice steady but charged with emotion. "I need you to hear me. Everything I say tonight, it's the truth. Or at least, the truth as it happened from my perspective." The words were simple, yet they carried a weight that made Charlie's father shift in his seat. He had known many sides of Erika's story, but nothing prepared him for the intensity that now filled their living room. The first revelation hit like a thunderclap. Erika claimed that Charlie had confided in her months earlier about secrets no parent could ever expect to hear. She described late-night phone calls, tears shared in confidence, and promises made that were allegedly broken. "He told me things about your family, things he swore I could never repeat. But now, you need to know, because hiding it isn't helping anyone." The statement hung in the air, and for a moment, silence dominated the room. The tension was unbearable. Charlie's mother's hands trembled as she clasped them together, trying to hold herself steady. "What? What kind of things?" she whispered, almost too afraid to hear the answer. Erika's tone softened, almost conversational, yet every word was precise, each syllable designed to pull at the heartstrings of the family. "He said there were moments, painful moments, that he never told you about. Moments where he felt abandoned, misunderstood, even trapped. I know you'll want to deny it, but it's what he confided to me." Charlie's father's face darkened. He opened his mouth to speak, but no words came. Instead, he felt a mixture of anger, confusion, and the kind of dread that sinks into the chest and refuses to leave. The conversation escalated quickly. Erika revealed details that were intimate, personal, and utterly explosive. She described arguments between Charlie and his siblings, hidden debts, and private heartbreaks that the public had never seen. "You might feel betrayed," she said, her eyes unwavering. "But this isn't about blame, it's about truth. And sometimes, the truth hurts more than lies ever could." The family sat frozen, digesting each sentence as if their reality had been turned upside down. Even Charlie's mother, who had always believed in shielding her children from scandal, couldn't deny the rawness of what she was hearing. As the revelations poured out, emotions ran high. Tears were shed, voices raised, and accusations flew in a storm of tension and disbelief. Charlie's father suddenly spoke, his voice a mixture of fury and anguish. "How could you say these things? Are you trying to destroy everything we've built?" Erika's response was calm, almost chilling in its composure. "I'm not here to destroy. I'm here to expose what's been hidden. You have the choice to believe it or not, but these are the confessions he trusted me with." The clash of perspectives turned the living room into a battlefield of words, each one loaded with history and pain. Outside the room, friends and close family were becoming aware that something monumental was unfolding. Whispers traveled quickly, and soon the neighborhood buzzed with speculation. Social media had already started to catch wind of the drama, with fans of the family's story flooding forums, demanding answers, and speculating wildly about what could possibly be true. The tension wasn't just private anymore, it had become a spectacle, a drama unfolding both behind closed doors and in the court of public opinion. Erika's revelations took a darker turn. She began detailing alleged manipulations, betrayals, and moments of deceit that Charlie had supposedly been involved in. "You think you know him, but you don't," she said sharply. "The man you raised, the son you loved, he kept secrets, dark secrets, and I was the only one he trusted to share them with." The accusations hit like a hammer, leaving Charlie's mother gasping. Unable to reconcile the son she thought she knew with the image Erika painted, Charlie's father clenched his fists, jaw tight, feeling a mix of shame and disbelief, unable to articulate whether he should defend his son or confront the alleged truths. The conversation was relentless. Erika didn't pause, she didn't hesitate, and she didn't show any signs of faltering under the weight of her own narrative. She painted a picture so vivid that it was impossible to ignore. Moments of love, betrayal, secrecy, and heartbreak were woven into a tapestry of drama that left the family questioning everything they had ever believed. "You have to understand," she said, voice firm but quiet. "I never wanted this to happen. But you need to face the reality of what Charlie shared with me. It's not easy, I know. But the longer it's hidden, the worse the consequences will be." Then came the most shocking twist. Erika claimed that Charlie had allegedly orchestrated situations to test the family's loyalty, even suggesting scenarios that could potentially ruin reputations. "I know it sounds unbelievable," she said, her eyes glinting with intensity. "But the proof is there in the way he acted, the choices he made, and the confessions he made to me, they confirm everything. They confirm everything." Charlie's mother's face drained of color. "Why? Why would he do that?" she whispered, almost incoherently. Erika's answer was calm, almost matter-of-fact. "Sometimes people are desperate to see the truth. Sometimes they want to know who will stand by them and who will fall away." As the night wore on, the intensity of the revelations didn't lessen. Each new confession opened the door to another, and the emotional toll on Charlie's parents was staggering. Arguments broke out, tears flowed, and the family was left divided. Caught between disbelief and the undeniable power of Erika's testimony, friends who were listening from the other room described the scene as apocalyptic. With emotions spiraling and no clear resolution in sight, by the time the night ended, no one in the Kirk household was the same. Charlie's parents sat in stunned silence, grappling with a cascade of confessions, accusations, and alleged betrayals. Erika left as quietly as she had arrived, leaving behind a room heavy with tension, hearts racing, and minds spinning. The story, however, didn't end there. It had just begun to spread beyond the walls of the home. The very next morning, social media erupted. Fans who had followed Charlie and Erika's story for years were shocked by the whispers of confessions and alleged lies. Hashtags trended, discussions flared, and theories multiplied. Was Erika telling the truth? Was this a manipulation? Or was there more to the story than anyone could imagine? The internet was a frenzy, and the Kirk family, once private, had become the epicenter of public drama. Joe Rogan, always a magnet for explosive revelations, caught wind of the situation almost immediately. His platform became the stage for what insiders called the confessional of the century. Fans tuned in by the millions, eager to hear the unfiltered version of events, the raw confessions. and the twists that were rumored to be more shocking than anything previously aired. When Rogan's episode finally dropped, emotions erupted anew. Viewers described the tension as palpable through the screen, with some feeling their own hearts race at each shocking detail. But even as fans consumed every second of the explosive episode, questions lingered. Was Erika's confession honest? Was it a manipulation crafted to sway opinion? And what about Charlie? Was he truly guilty of the acts alleged? Or was he the victim of a carefully orchestrated narrative? The drama had not just reached its peak, it had multiplied into 1,000 divergent paths, each more twisted than the last. Inside the Kirk household, the fallout was immediate. Friends and extended family took sides. Debates became arguments. Alliances formed and dissolved in hours. Charlie's parents were forced to confront not only the alleged truths but also their own emotions, their own regrets, and the difficult task of deciding who to believe. "I don't know who to trust anymore," Charlie's mother admitted to a close friend. "Voice breaking. Everything I thought I knew. It feels like a lie." As the days passed, the story evolved, twisting with each new revelation. Erika's side was released in full on Rogan's podcast, while the family grappled with the attention, the scrutiny, and the relentless judgment of fans, commentators, and critics alike. Every new statement, every new leak only added to the chaos, leaving the Kirk family trapped in a whirlwind of public opinion and private turmoil. Fans continued to speculate wildly. Forums were filled with theories about hidden motives, secret recordings, and potential betrayals that had yet to surface. Some defended Erika, calling her brave for revealing the truth. Others condemned her, accusing her of fabricating confessions to gain attention. The polarization was intense, and nowhere was it more evident than in the comments, where accusations flew as freely as confessions. Through it all, Charlie remained silent publicly, though insiders claimed he was privately devastated. The weight of Erika's words, combined with the glare of public scrutiny, left him reeling. Friends described him as haunted, struggling to reconcile the son they knew with the narrative now dominating headlines. The tension inside the family was mirrored in every reaction online, where the drama continued to unfold, second by second, post by post. The night of Erika's confessions marked the beginning of a scandal that would dominate conversation for weeks. Each new twist seemed to raise the stakes, each new claim igniting fresh debate. The Kirk family, once shielded from the world, had become a spectacle, their private lives dissected under the harsh light of fame, rumors, and relentless curiosity. Even as the story seemed to reach its peak, hints of deeper secrets began to emerge. Sources close to the family hinted at confessions, yet unrevealed. Truths even more shocking than what had already been aired. The tension was not over, it had only just begun. Fans waited with bated breath. Social media buzzed with speculation, and the Kirk household braced for the next chapter of a drama that showed no signs of ending. The days following Erika's explosive revelations were a whirlwind of chaos, confusion, and raw emotion. The Kirk household had become a pressure cooker, every room echoing with unanswered questions and fractured trust. Charlie's parents struggled to maintain any semblance of normalcy, though their attempts were futile. The family's friends and distant relatives began to trickle in, drawn by the magnetism of drama and the promise of truth or, perhaps, scandal. Each visitor brought their own suspicions, judgments, and curiosity, intensifying the tension in ways that made the walls themselves seem to vibrate with anxiety. Charlie's father, usually a figure of stoic composure, found himself snapping at even the smallest irritations. A misplaced cup, a hesitant glance, a whispered comment all became triggers for the storm of emotions raging inside him. I can't believe this," he muttered one afternoon, pacing the living room. "After everything, after all these years, we're sitting here being accused of things we didn't even know existed." His voice shook, betraying a mix of anger, hurt, and disbelief. Charlie's mother, trying to soothe him, placed a tentative hand on his shoulder. "We have to stay calm," she said softly, though even her tone carried an undercurrent of fear. "We don't even know if it's true, and yet, it feels like the ground beneath us is crumbling." Meanwhile, Erika's confessions had sparked a firestorm outside the home. Social media platforms exploded with commentary, memes, and heated debates. Hashtags relating to the Kirk family trended within hours, and news outlets picked up on the story with sensational headlines designed to maximize clicks. Some fans called for Charlie's accountability, citing Erika's words as irrefutable evidence of deceit. Others defended him passionately, insisting that the confessions were manipulated, perhaps exaggerated or even entirely fabricated to serve Erika's agenda. The division was stark, and the more people argued, the more the family's private pain became public entertainment. Inside the home, the tension escalated further. When Charlie's siblings returned from college and work, they had been largely unaware of the depth of Erika's revelations until now, and their arrival acted as a catalyst for confrontation. Voices immediately clashed, emotions spilled over, and accusations bounced around like shards of glass. How could you let this happen? One sibling shouted at Charlie's parents. How could you not see what was going on right under your nose? Charlie's mother's eyes welled with tears as she tried to explain, her voice breaking. We had no idea. We trusted him. We trusted everyone. We never imagined this. Erika's influence lingered like a shadow over every interaction. Even those family members who hadn't spoken to her were affected by the weight of her confessions. The room seemed to hold a memory of her words, each sentence echoing and twisting into the family's subconscious. Late at night, Charlie's parents would sit in the dark, replaying the conversation over and over, questioning their perceptions, their choices, and their own roles in the unfolding drama. They wondered if they had missed signs, misread signals, or failed to protect their son from situations that had escalated beyond anyone's control. The strain on Charlie himself was immense. Friends described him as withdrawn, haunted by the duality of Erika's narrative and the expectations of his family. He avoided public appearances, social media, and even phone calls, retreating into a private world where he could process the avalanche of accusations and confessions. Yet, despite his silence, rumors continued to grow, fueled by speculation and the insatiable curiosity of fans and commentators alike. Every gesture he made, every statement he avoided was scrutinized, analyzed, and twisted. Into further evidence of guilt or innocence, depending on the observer's allegiance. The conflict within the family reached a peak one evening during what was supposed to be a calm dinner. The tension was so thick it could have been cut with a knife. Charlie's father slammed his fist on the table, startling everyone. I can't take it anymore. How can we sit here pretending that nothing has happened? Erika's words, they're tearing us apart, and you all just sit here. The siblings exchanged nervous glances, unsure whether to intervene or flee. Charlie's mother, tears streaming, tried to mediate. We have to stay together, she pleaded. We can't let this divide us. We need to find out the truth ourselves, not just react to what someone else says. The next morning, the family's lawyer arrived, signaling that the drama had officially crossed into legal territory. The lawyer advised caution, warning that every statement, every action, could be used in court or against them in public forums. The family nodded, a mixture of relief and apprehension on their faces. They realized that this was no longer a private conversation. It had become a narrative controlled by others. A story shaped by confessions, interpretations, and public perception. The stakes were higher than ever, and the pressure weighed heavily on every member of the Kirk family. As the days unfolded, Erika continued to maintain a mysterious silence, refusing to comment publicly. This only fueled the fire, as speculation ran rampant about her motives. Was she seeking justice, attention, revenge? Or was she simply telling the truth as she perceived it? Insiders hinted at secret recordings, hidden messages, and conversations that had not yet come to light, suggesting that even more explosive details were waiting to be revealed. The tension between what was known and what might be revealed next created a sense of suspense that gripped everyone who followed the story. Fans of Joe Rogan's podcast dissected the episode minute by minute. Clips were shared endlessly. Comments piled up, and every phrase Erika spoke was analyzed. Phrases like, "he kept secrets," and "you need to hear this" became rallying cries for those demanding clarity. The drama wasn't confined to the Kirk family anymore. It had spread to a global audience, with viewers forming factions, taking sides, and speculating about motives, consequences, and next moves. The intensity of public scrutiny mirrored the intensity inside the household, creating a feedback loop that heightened every emotion, every reaction, and every confrontation. In the midst of this, a surprising development occurred. A former friend of Charlie's came forward with their own account, claiming to corroborate some of Erika's confessions. The revelation added another layer to the story, blurring the line between truth and manipulation. Charlie's mother was visibly shaken, unable to reconcile the conflicting narratives. Charlie's father grew defensive, insisting that the friend's testimony was motivated by jealousy or personal gain. The siblings argued over whose loyalty was genuine, whose perspective could be trusted, and whose motives were hidden. The room became a battlefield, with no clear victor, only raw emotions and fractured relationships. The media frenzy intensified. News outlets, entertainment bloggers, and social media influencers amplified every detail, often twisting the narrative to maximize drama. Headlines screamed about betrayal, secrets, and shocking confessions, while opinion pieces speculated endlessly on what Charlie might do next. The pressure on the family was immense, as each public story threatened to destabilize the fragile equilibrium they were struggling to maintain. Private conversations became strategic meetings, every word measured, every action considered for its potential impact on both the family and the public perception. Meanwhile, Joe Rogan teased additional content, hinting at follow-ups and interviews that could reveal even more. Fans speculated wildly, theorizing that unseen recordings or private messages might confirm or contradict Erika's version of events. The uncertainty added another layer of tension. leaving the Kirk family anxious and wary, constantly anticipating the next revelation that could tip the scales. Even everyday interactions felt charged with drama, as each family member grappled with the knowledge that their lives were under intense scrutiny. Throughout this period, Charlie remained largely silent, communicating only through close confidants. His isolation was both protective and torturous, as he navigated the dual pressures of family loyalty and public expectation. Friends described his demeanor as haunted not just by what Erika had said, but by the way the world was reacting, by the stories being told without his input. He felt trapped between defending himself, protecting his family, and surviving the relentless tide of public opinion. As the saga continued, the Kirk household became a microcosm of chaos. Each day brought new revelations, confrontations, and emotional upheavals. Charlie's parents struggled to reconcile their love for their son with the words they had heard from Erika. Siblings fought over perspectives and loyalties, while friends and distant relatives inserted themselves into the drama, some attempting to mediate, others unintentionally exacerbating the tensions. The family was trapped in a cycle of conflict, speculation, and the relentless search for truth, with no resolution in sight. And yet, despite the tension, glimmers of hope appeared. Moments of calm, brief reconciliations, and shared memories reminded the family of the bond they had built over decades. These fleeting reprieves were fragile, easily shattered by the next revelation, the next accusation, the next wave of public scrutiny. Still, they were necessary, reminding the Kirk family that, even amidst betrayal and drama, love, loyalty, and resilience could persist. As part 2 of the saga loomed on the horizon, the stage was set for even more explosive developments, secrets yet unrevealed, motives still in question, and the ever-present public gaze promised to push the family to their limits. The emotional journey was far from over, and the world waited with bated breath to see what would happen next, knowing that every word, every confession, and every action could dramatically alter the story once again. The tension inside the Kirk household had reached an almost unbearable peak. Every day seemed to bring a new revelation, another whispered rumor, or an unexpected confrontation that left the family teetering on the edge of emotional collapse. Charlie's parents, once the anchors of the family, found themselves adrift, struggling to maintain composure as Erika's confessions continued to reverberate through their lives. The house that had always been a sanctuary now felt like a stage, each room a theater of confrontation, doubt, and fragile truths. Charlie, still largely silent, was a shadow of his former self. Friends reported seeing him wandering the house late at night, speaking in hushed tones to himself, replaying every word Erika had said. The weight of public scrutiny only compounded his personal turmoil. He was acutely aware that every gesture, every post, and every word, or lack thereof, was being dissected by millions online. Rumors and speculations spread like wildfire, with some suggesting that he had manipulated the situation himself, while others insisted he was an innocent victim caught in a maelstrom of deceit. The uncertainty was suffocating, leaving him isolated and haunted. The siblings, too, felt the strain. They argued constantly, sometimes erupting in full-blown confrontations that shook the walls of the home. One sibling accused another of taking sides, of aligning with Erika's narrative, while another insisted that they needed to support Charlie, regardless of the revelations. "We can't keep pretending everything is fine," one of them shouted, voice trembling with frustration. "She said things that can't be ignored. How can we just move on?" The arguments often ended in silence, heavy with resentment and unspoken accusations, leaving the house tense and brittle as if a single word could ignite another storm. The broader social landscape mirrored the chaos inside the home. Fans dissected every clip from Joe Rogan's episode, analyzing Erika's expressions, tone, and choice of words for hidden meanings. Forums filled with theories ranging from the plausible to the absurd, each commenter vying to uncover the real truth. Hashtags trended relentlessly, some defending Charlie, others attacking him, and yet more questioning Erika's motives. The story had grown far beyond the walls of the Kirk household, becoming a public spectacle that left no one untouched by its drama. One afternoon, the tension boiled over. A family friend who had been observing the situation from a distance arrived unexpectedly. He brought with him what he claimed were messages exchanged between Charlie and Erika that provided additional context to the confessions. The discovery acted like a match to dry kindling. Voices rose, accusations flew, and tears were shed in torrents. Charlie's mother clutched the messages in disbelief, her hands shaking as she read them aloud. The contents seemed to confirm some of Erika's confessions, yet contradicted others, leaving everyone questioning what was real and what was fabricated. Erika, despite being physically absent, continued to wield influence over the household. Her words lingered like an echo, shaping interactions, influencing arguments, and driving decisions. The family found themselves revisiting every past event, every choice, and every interaction through the lens of her revelations. Trust, once solid, had fractured into jagged pieces, each member unsure how to navigate relationships that now seemed riddled with deception. The emotional toll was immense, and nights were filled with restless sleep and anxious anticipation of what might come next. The tension escalated further when a second wave of confessions allegedly surfaced. Anonymous sources claimed that Erika had shared additional details with close friends, information that was now leaking online. These revelations painted Charlie in an even more complicated light, sometimes sympathetic, sometimes alarming, always unpredictable. The family struggled to process the information, with each member reacting differently. Some felt betrayed, others protective, and yet others remained skeptical, unwilling to accept claims without absolute proof. The household was a maze of emotion, each corridor lined with suspicion, doubt, and fear. The dynamic between Charlie and his parents became increasingly strained. Once a source of support and guidance, they now found themselves questioning their ability to understand their son. How could we have missed all of this? Charlie's father demanded one evening, voice tight with frustration. Charlie's mother, her eyes red from crying, whispered, "We did what we could. But maybe love isn't always enough to see the truth." The words encapsulated the complexity of the situation, a mixture of guilt, helplessness, and the haunting realization that even the closest bonds can be tested by secrets. Social media continued to amplify the drama. Video clips, screenshots, and commentary spread rapidly, each new post adding fuel to the fire. Fans debated endlessly, some defending Erika as a whistleblower exposing hidden truths, others condemning her for tearing a family apart. Every development in the Kirk household was magnified, each emotional response dissected and scrutinized by a global audience. The pressure on Charlie and his family intensified with every click, comment, and share. Amid the chaos, moments of raw vulnerability emerged. Charlie's mother confided in a close friend, voice trembling, "I don't know who to trust anymore. Every time I think I understand, another confession comes out. It's like living in a storm that never ends." The words reflected a universal tension, the struggle to discern truth from fiction, love from manipulation, and reality from perception. The family was caught in a relentless cycle of revelation and reaction, a whirlwind that left little room for peace or clarity. Charlie's siblings, despite their constant bickering, began to form tentative alliances. Recognizing that external forces were exploiting their family's turmoil, they sought moments of unity, attempting to protect one another from further harm. These fragile moments of solidarity, however, were always precarious, susceptible to being shattered by another confession, another rumor, another misinterpreted word. The emotional landscape of the house remained volatile, a reflection of the intensity of Erika's initial confessions and the ongoing public scrutiny. The story's reach expanded beyond the immediate family. Friends, colleagues, and acquaintances became involved, either as witnesses, intermediaries, or commentators. Some attempted to mediate, offering perspective and guidance, while others inadvertently deepened the drama, taking sides and escalating tensions. Every interaction carried weight. Every conversation had consequences. And the ripple effect of Erika's confessions was felt far beyond the walls of the Kirk household. Joe Rogan's platform continued to shape the narrative. Teasers of follow-up episodes hinted at additional layers of complexity, promising revelations that could further alter perceptions of Charlie, Erika, and the family dynamics. Fans speculated endlessly about the content of these episodes, eager to see whether new evidence would corroborate or contradict previous confessions. The anticipation created a sense of urgency and tension, a constant reminder to the Kirk family that their private lives were now under intense public scrutiny. The family's legal counsel became increasingly involved, advising on how to navigate both public relations and personal interactions. Guidance centered on caution, emphasizing that every word spoken, every social media post, and every public appearance could have ramifications. The advice was practical but heavy with implication. The drama had moved beyond emotion and was now entwined with potential legal and reputational consequences. Despite the intensity, Charlie and his parents sought moments of reflection, quiet conversations in the early morning, shared meals where tempers cooled, and brief respites from media attention provided fleeting relief. These moments, though brief, were crucial in allowing the family to recalibrate, to process emotions, and to consider strategies for navigating the ongoing fallout. Rumors of new evidence continued to circulate, suggesting that more revelations from Erika might be imminent. Speculation was rampant. Secret recordings, private messages, or undisclosed encounters could surface at any moment. The uncertainty kept the family and fans alike on edge, fueling the drama and ensuring that the story's momentum would not wane. As days turned into weeks, the Kirk household remained a landscape of tension, emotion, and unresolved conflict. Erika's confessions had set in motion a series of events that could not be undone. Relationships were strained, loyalties tested, and trust was fragile, teetering on the edge of collapse. Each family member grappled with their own emotional journey, navigating grief, anger, doubt, and the relentless intrusion of public opinion. The saga, however, was far from over. Insiders hinted at further twists, suggesting that Erika's narrative might not be the only one shaping the family's reality. Hidden alliances, unspoken grievances, and potential revelations lurked beneath the surface, waiting for the right moment to emerge. The tension between the known and the unknown created a suspense that was both intoxicating and terrifying, ensuring that the Kirk family's story would continue to captivate and shock the world. Even amidst the chaos, moments of tenderness emerged. Charlie's parents, despite their anguish, found solace in shared memories and the enduring bond with their children. Siblings, despite disagreements, occasionally united in defense of one another, reminding themselves and the family that love could survive even the most intense storms. These moments, however fleeting, offered glimpses of hope amid the turmoil, small anchors in a sea of uncertainty. As Part 3 loomed, the stage was set for further upheaval. Confessions yet untold, motivations still hidden, and the ever-present public gaze promised to push the family to their limits. The story's intensity would escalate, secrets would surface, and the emotional stakes would rise even higher. The world watched, captivated, knowing that every revelation could redefine the narrative and leave the Kirk family forever changed. The days following the second wave of revelations were relentless. Inside the Kirk household, the air felt almost electric, charged with tension, suspicion, and a sense that any conversation could erupt into conflict. Charlie's parents moved through their routines like Conversation could erupt into conflict. Charlie's parents moved through their routines like strangers in their own home, each step weighed down by the knowledge that every glance, every word could ignite another emotional explosion. The silence between them often spoke louder than any argument, a constant reminder that nothing would ever be simple again. Charlie remained secluded, barely speaking to anyone beyond a handful of trusted confidants. His friends described him as withdrawn, haunted by the dual pressures of family turmoil and public scrutiny. He spent hours replaying Erika's confessions in his mind, questioning not only the truth of her words but also the intentions behind them. Was she telling the truth, or manipulating the narrative for her own gain? The uncertainty gnawed at him, leaving him restless, irritable, and increasingly isolated. The siblings, already on edge, began to fracture further under the weight of accusations and hidden truths. Minor disagreements escalated into full-blown confrontations, with each argument revealing deeper resentments and long-buried grievances. "You always take his side," one sibling shouted, voice cracking. "Do you even hear what she's saying?" The clash left Charlie's mother in tears, torn between wanting to mediate and fearing that any intervention might make the situation worse. Charlie's father, meanwhile, struggled to maintain authority, realizing that his words now carried the weight of judgment rather than guidance. Outside the household, the drama intensified as social media users dissected every detail of the story. Clips from Joe Rogan's episode circulated endlessly, analyzed for hidden meanings, inconsistencies, and clues to the real truth. Forums became battlefields, with factions forming around Charlie, Erika, and even Charlie's parents. Fans speculated on motives, relationships, and the potential fallout, while influencers and bloggers capitalized on the frenzy, creating sensationalized narratives that blurred the lines between reality and fabrication. The family's private pain had transformed into public spectacle, magnified with every post, comment, and share. Tensions escalated further when Charlie's lawyer revealed that Erika's alleged confessions could have legal implications. The revelation added a new layer of anxiety, as family members realized that every interaction, every discussion, and even every social media post could be scrutinized under legal lenses. The stakes had shifted from emotional turmoil to potential reputational and legal consequences, amplifying the already intense pressure on the household. Erika's influence persisted despite her absence. Her confessions and the subsequent leaks had created an environment where trust was almost impossible to maintain. Family members found themselves questioning each other's motives, wondering whether disagreements were genuine or orchestrated by external influences. Even the simplest interactions, shared meals, casual conversations, or phone calls became opportunities for misinterpretation and conflict. As past confessions loomed over every exchange, the public's fascination only grew. Rumors surfaced suggesting that Erika had additional information that could further destabilize the family. Some sources claimed she possessed private recordings and messages that had yet to be revealed. Speculation about these alleged materials fueled anticipation and fear, keeping both the family and the audience on edge. Each new rumor felt like a ticking time bomb threatening to explode at any moment and alter the narrative once again. Amid this chaos, Charlie attempted to regain some control over his own story. He reached out to close friends and advisors, seeking clarity, support, and guidance. These interactions, while brief and cautious, offered him a temporary reprieve from the relentless scrutiny and allowed him to process the overwhelming series of events. Yet the tension persisted, reminding him that no matter how carefully he navigated the situation, the public's gaze remained unrelenting. Inside the household, the emotional roller coaster continued. Minor incidents, misplaced objects, misunderstood remarks, lingering glances often triggered disproportionate reactions. Revealing just how deeply the family had been affected by Erika's confessions, Charlie's mother admitted to a close friend that she felt as though she were walking on eggshells, fearful of triggering another wave of conflict. Charlie's father acknowledged that every decision now required calculation, strategy, and an awareness of potential consequences that went far beyond family dynamics. The siblings' conflicts reached a boiling point when a confrontation erupted over a leaked text message allegedly between Charlie and Erika. Accusations flew, voices rose, and old wounds were torn open. "I can't believe you kept this from us," one sibling yelled, eyes wide with anger. "Do you even realize what this means?" The argument left Charlie's mother sobbing in the background, while Charlie's father struggled to regain control of a situation that seemed increasingly unmanageable. Media outlets, sensing a perfect storm of drama, continued to sensationalize every development. Headlines screamed about betrayal, hidden secrets, and shocking confessions, while social media users dissected each claim with obsessive intensity. The story, which had started as a private family conversation, had evolved into a global spectacle, capturing the attention of millions and ensuring that every move the Kirk family made would be scrutinized. In this climate of relentless pressure, moments of vulnerability occasionally emerged. Charlie's mother confided in a trusted friend, expressing her fear that the family might never recover from the emotional upheaval. "We've been torn apart by words," she said, voice trembling. "And now I'm not sure if we can ever trust each other again." These moments, though brief, highlighted the profound impact of Erika's confessions, not just on public perception, but on the intimate dynamics of a family struggling to survive the fallout. Charlie's personal struggle became increasingly visible to those around him. He oscillated between anger, despair, and moments of tentative hope, reflecting the complexity of his situation. Friends described him as haunted yet resilient, navigating the impossible task of defending his character while processing the emotional weight of his family's turmoil. The internal conflict was palpable, a tension that mirrored the external chaos consuming the household and the world beyond. The cycle of conflict and tentative resolution continued. Family members attempted to communicate, to bridge gaps, and to reconcile differing perspectives, yet each effort was met with new challenges. Misunderstandings, lingering doubts, and the ever-present shadow of public scrutiny made meaningful reconciliation nearly impossible. Every attempt at peace was fragile, easily disrupted by new information, rumors, or interpretations of Erika's confessions. As Part 4 loomed, the story's complexity deepened. Unseen motives, hidden alliances, and the potential for further revelations ensured that the drama would continue to evolve. The Kirk household remained a crucible of emotion, each member navigating fear, loyalty, and the search for truth. The world watched with anticipation, captivated by a narrative that promised twists, confrontations, and revelations that could redefine everything the family thought they knew. The stage was set for even greater upheaval. Confessions, yet unrevealed, public opinion ready to erupt, and the fragile bonds within the household teetering on collapse ensured that the next chapter would be explosive, dramatic, and impossible to ignore. The family and the world observing them were caught in a narrative that had no clear resolution, only the promise of more revelations, more drama, and more emotional intensity. The Kirk household had become a labyrinth of tension, mistrust, and unresolved conflict. The emotional scars left by Erika's confessions had run deep, and every interaction felt like a test of endurance. Charlie's parents, once pillars of stability, now found themselves caught between defending their son and processing the whirlwind of public scrutiny and private uncertainty. Their days were punctuated by whispered arguments, long silences, and moments of grief that felt both sudden and inescapable. Charlie, increasingly isolated, was navigating a maze of emotional pressure unlike anything he had faced before. He spent countless hours reflecting on Erika's words, analyzing conversations, and questioning his own actions. The silence he maintained was not just a retreat from public opinion, but a strategy. To protect what remained of his family's dignity, friends who reached out described him as haunted, a young man grappling with betrayal, confusion, and the crushing weight of expectation. Every rumor, every speculative post online, and every media snippet acted like a hammer striking at his resolve. The siblings, though embroiled in their own disagreements, began to recognize the necessity of unity. Yet even as they attempted moments of cooperation, old rivalries and resentments bubbled to the surface. "We can't just sweep this under the rug," one sibling said, frustration dripping from their voice. "These confessions changed everything. We have to acknowledge it," another countered. "But we also need to protect him. Can't you see how much this is tearing him apart?" The arguments reflected a delicate balance between loyalty, protection, and the relentless search for truth, a balance that seemed impossible to maintain in the face of mounting pressure. Outside the home, the media frenzy showed no signs of slowing. Podcasts, talk shows, and social media platforms dissected every nuance of the story. Clips from Joe Rogan's episode were replayed repeatedly, analyzed for hidden meanings, inconsistencies, and clues that might confirm or contradict Erika's confessions. Opinion pieces speculated endlessly on motives, emotional manipulation, and the potential consequences for the Kirk family. Fans formed factions debating endlessly about whether Charlie was a victim, complicit, or somewhere in between. The narrative had evolved into a spectacle, a story consumed voraciously by an audience eager for drama and intrigue. The pressure inside the household intensified. When an anonymous tip suggested the existence of additional messages between Charlie and Erika, these alleged communications, if authentic, could provide more context or fuel more conflict. The tip reached Charlie's parents, who were left grappling with shock, disbelief, and anxiety. The uncertainty created an environment where every glance, every word, and every action was loaded with potential meaning, often misinterpreted and amplified by fear. Charlie attempted to navigate this minefield with caution, consulting closely with his legal team and a few trusted friends. These discussions were strategic, aiming to protect him and his family from both public and private fallout. Yet even with careful planning, the emotional toll was evident. Late-night conversations with confidants revealed a young man struggling to maintain composure, wrestling with guilt, betrayal, and the inescapable sense that the world was watching his every move. Inside the household, tensions erupted in moments that were both dramatic and heartbreaking. A minor disagreement over daily chores spiraled into a heated confrontation, with siblings shouting over one another, voices cracking with frustration and fear. Charlie's mother, overwhelmed, wept quietly in the background, torn between wanting to intervene and recognizing that the conflict needed to play out for each member to process their emotions. Charlie's father, struggling to assert control, found that his authority was increasingly challenged by the intensity of emotions surrounding him. Erika's absence continued to be a presence felt in every corner of the home. Her confessions lingered like a shadow, shaping interactions, coloring perceptions, and driving tensions. The family found themselves replaying past events, reconsidering their own actions, and questioning what they thought they knew. Trust, once a given, had become fragile, a delicate structure that could be shattered by the slightest rumor or revelation. Every family interaction became a negotiation between past revelations and present emotions. The story's reach had expanded far beyond the family. Friends, acquaintances, and distant relatives became involved, offering perspectives, support, or sometimes inadvertently fueling conflict. Each new interaction introduced potential for both reconciliation and escalation. Private conversations were treated with caution, every word weighed for its potential public impact. The family had learned that in the era of social media, even intimate moments could be distorted and magnified, transforming personal struggles into global spectacles. Amid the chaos, rare moments of vulnerability surfaced. Charlie's mother confided in a close friend, voice quivering, "I don't know how we'll ever come back from this. Every time I think we've found a way forward, another piece of this puzzle emerges and pulls us under." These moments underscored the human cost of Erika's confessions, not just the public intrigue, but the private anguish of a family struggling to survive scrutiny, betrayal, and doubt. Charlie himself began to show signs of internal conflict that could not be hidden. Friends reported observing him oscillate between resolve and despair, moments of clarity and crushing doubt. He was navigating the impossible task of defending his character, supporting his family, and managing the relentless pressure from a world hungry for drama. Each decision, each interaction carried weight, and the consequences of missteps were amplified exponentially by the public's gaze. Conflict within the siblings remained volatile. A confrontation arose over leaked photographs allegedly depicting private moments between Charlie and Erika. Accusations flew, emotions ran high, and long-standing grievances resurfaced, creating an environment where reconciliation felt impossible. Charlie's parents were left attempting to mediate, often helpless against the intensity of emotion and the layers of unresolved tension that had built over weeks. Media outlets continued to sensationalize the story, amplifying minor developments into major controversies. Headlines screamed betrayal, shocking confessions, and family feuds. While social media users dissected every claim with obsessive intensity, the narrative had evolved from a private family matter into a global spectacle, with millions watching, commenting, and forming judgments. The family's reality had been transformed into a performance, each move scrutinized and interpreted by a public eager for scandal. Amid the chaos, moments of reflection provided brief Charlie's parents occasionally shared quiet conversations, attempting to process the emotional toll of Erika's revelations. Siblings, in fleeting moments of solidarity, reminded themselves of familial bonds and the importance of unity. These moments, while brief and fragile, offered glimmers of hope in a landscape dominated by tension, suspicion, and uncertainty. As Part 5 approached, the stage was set for further upheaval. Hidden motives, undisclosed communications, and the anticipation of additional revelations ensured that the drama would continue to escalate. The Kirk household remained a crucible of emotion, with each member navigating loyalty, fear, and the search for truth. The world watched, captivated by a story that promised new twists, confrontations, and shocking disclosures, each capable of reshaping the family's reality entirely. The anticipation of what might come next added a relentless pressure. Confessions yet unrevealed, public opinion ready to erupt, and the fragile bonds within the household teetering on the edge ensured that the next chapter would be explosive. The family and everyone observing them braced for further revelations that would test the limits of trust, love, and resilience in ways they could never have imagined. So now that you've followed every twist, every confrontation, and every shocking revelation in the Kirk household, you might be wondering what happens next. Was Erika telling the full truth? Or was there a layer of deception waiting to unravel? Charlie's parents, the siblings, and Charlie himself have all been thrust into a storm they never asked for, navigating betrayal, confusion, and public scrutiny at a scale few families ever experience. Every message, every confession, and every leaked detail has left them and you questioning reality, loyalty, and the true nature of trust. Imagine being in their shoes, waking up each day unsure which whispers are true and which are fabricated. Imagine the weight of knowing that millions of people are dissecting every action, every gesture, and every word you speak. It's a pressure that would test anyone's resolve. And yet the family continues to navigate it with a mix of caution, emotion, and determination. Charlie's silence, Erika's confessions, and the flood of public opinion have created a story that's impossible to ignore, pulling everyone who follows it into a whirlwind of drama, speculation, and suspense. This story isn't just about scandal, it's about human emotion, the fragility of relationships, and the consequences of secrets revealed at the wrong time. It's about trust shattered and the painstaking process of rebuilding it. It's about the thin line between truth and perception, and how quickly that line can blur when the world is watching. And here's where you come in, you, the viewer, the fan, the observer, because every like, every comment, every share fuels the story, keeps the conversation alive, and ensures that no twist goes unnoticed. Your voice becomes part of the narrative, part of the debate, part of the community that follows the Kirk saga with bated breath. So what do you think? Do you believe Erika's confessions are the absolute truth? Or is there more to the story than meets the eye? Will Charlie finally speak out and reclaim his narrative? Or will the silence continue to fuel speculation and division? Do Charlie's parents find a way to hold the family together? Or will the storm of betrayal and doubt prove too strong to weather? These questions linger unresolved, hanging in the air as the story continues to unfold. Your thoughts, your opinions, and your theories matter, because in a saga like this, every perspective adds depth, every voice contributes to the ongoing conversation, and every comment keeps the drama alive. If you've been captivated by the twists and turns of this story, don't stay silent. Let your voice be heard. Share your perspective in the comments below, debate with others, and engage with the unfolding drama. Your insight could shine a new light on the situation, spark fresh discussions, or even uncover angles no one has considered yet. And while you're here, make sure to hit that like button, because it tells us that you want more stories like this. More inside looks into the confessions, confrontations, and chaos that make these narratives unforgettable. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, so you'll never miss a single update. The Kirk family saga is far from over, and you deserve a front row seat to every shocking twist, every emotional confrontation, and every revelation that threatens to turn the story upside down. By subscribing, you become part of a community that follows the drama closely, analyzes every development, and debates every confession with passion and insight. It's more than entertainment, it's an experience, and you're invited to be part of it. Remember, this is your chance to weigh in on one of the most talked about stories in recent memory. Leave a comment with your theories, discuss the possible motives, and share what you think might happen next. Do you side with Charlie, with Erika, Or are you watching cautiously, waiting for the next revelation to tip the scales? Your engagement keeps the conversation alive and ensures that every detail, every confession, and every twist reaches the eyes and ears of those who are as captivated as you are. So don't wait, join the conversation now. Like, comment, and subscribe to stay on top of every shocking development in this story that has fans across the world talking. Share your opinions, debate the possibilities, and make your voice part of the saga. Because in a story filled with secrets, betrayals, and confessions, every perspective counts. Every comment adds to the drama, and every like helps keep the narrative alive. Stay tuned, stay engaged, and remember, you're not just watching history unfold, you're part of it. You're part of it.